Hi. If you're somebody that is struggling with anxious thoughts, you find yourself with maybe a diagnosis of generalized anxiety disorder or some type of phobia, I want to let you know that this stuff is very difficult to work through, and I wanted to provide a video that I feel provides some information that can help you take one big step in gaining control over those things that you struggle with. My name is Dustin York. I'm a registered mental health counselor intern in the state of Florida. And while I am a mental health therapist, I am not your therapist. This is for educational purposes, as well as providing you maybe some guidance on whether you need to seek the assistance of another person or a therapist specifically. As I go through these items, if you find yourself saying, well, I've already tried that and it doesn't work, then you may be a candidate for finding somebody that can give you a hand. And so what I wanted to talk about today is scaling your day. And really what that means is scaling activities during your day based off of the level of anxiety that you feel. And you can scale like on a 1 to 10. If you feel like it's easier to scale on a 1 to 100, you can do that. I would just say that you need to be consistent. And when I say scaling your day, you can be very pragmatic with it and do something every hour where you write down, here's my most recent activity or thought or activity and thoughts, and here is my level of anxiety. Maybe it's a 3 or a 30. And as you go throughout your day, going through various experiences, tasks, and all of the things that you do, whether it be a work day or a day off, you chart those items throughout your day. And I would encourage you to do this for a week or more if you can. And as you scale the day, you don't have to take a whole lot of time to work through it, but just being mindful, checking in with yourself and going, I'm feeling pretty anxious right now. After doing this other activity, maybe I'm a 60 or maybe I'm a 70. And what happens is after you get done with your day or with your week, take some time to sit down with the data that you've collected and analyze it. Now, what I would encourage you to do, first and foremost, is look at what is causing the majority of or the higher levels of stress for you. And then look for ways that you can modify your day to eliminate that stress. Now, I know some of you may be thinking right now, well, that's not possible because the place where I have some of the most stress is when I'm driving in my car. And I would agree, if you're finding yourself in a position where you are having significant difficulty because your stress level, or your anxiety level is somewhere high in the 60, 70, 80, 90 range, that would probably be an indicator that you're stuck in a place that is impacting your daily functioning, and it would be good to find a therapist that you could work with on solutions. What I would encourage you to do is find things that aren't specific to daily functioning, things that maybe you can cut out. Maybe you find that watching the news or scrolling through social media or doing something else elevates your anxiety to a relatively high level. In fact, I've seen some people, they want a brain break. Maybe they've been working for a while and they think, you know what, I'm just going to scroll TikTok or do that for a second. And they'll find that even though they're doing a brain break from work, they may scale work as being a little boring and they might be at a 30. They scroll for 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and they find their agitation level is at about a 60 before they go back to work. And so as you're starting to track yourself throughout the day, I would encourage you to see what items you can really cut out. And again, don't be avoidant of things that impact the daily functioning of your life. You say, oh yeah, driving creates stress for me, I'm just not going to drive. Dustin York told me I didn't have to, and I'm just going to stop driving. That would be an indicator, because that's something that impacts your functioning, your daily life, that you should be working with a therapist. In a later video, I'll be providing some additional information on things that we can do to navigate stress and anxiety, things that like hacks that we can utilize that will help us get to that better place. But this right here, this first step in scaling your day, is going to help you activate something that clinicians would refer to as mindfulness. You're starting to take steps during your day to look at periods where, hey, that's not quite working for me. And then as you start to move into those activities later on in the week or weeks that follow, you start to go, hey, wait a second, this is an activity that actually escalates me. Should I engage in this activity? Should I engage in it in a little bit of a different way so that I can help move through that? Again, this is a first step. I'll be providing some other videos that can help you out. But being able to measure something is one of the first steps in being able to achieve more. Kind of like when you go and do something for fitness, right? You may want to start working out, go to a new gym or work with a personal trainer. They're going to give you a relatively light workout and they're going to track how you do. Same thing we're doing here. We're taking that overwhelming sense of anxiety that you have, that nervous feeling that you may get in the pit of your stomach, the tingling that you have that maybe something is just not quite right, and we're starting to track it. And then from there, we can work on things that are going to help us improve it. Again, there will be more videos to follow that can help you out with that. I hope this gives you something that empowers you to take control over the anxious thoughts and feelings that are taking control of your life. Thank you for watching. If you feel this video is helpful, please share it with other people. There was a good amount of information in here. Feel like saving it, save it or like it. And that way you can go back and refer to this as you move through. Later videos, I'm going to be providing some tips on how you can improve in those areas. Have a good day.